Thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week we talk about the royals and about Britney Spears. We end with our weekly feature, The Comments of the Week. The stories, photos, and tweets we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 162. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra, I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser.
So we're going to be off next week because this is like the third week we're recording, and we'll probably be back November 4th, but I kind of want to play it by ear and see if I feel like doing it. So
I get that. You know what I was thinking about? Because it's been sort of slow this week, especially with royal gossip. I've been thinking that November is going to heat up like crazy, especially like mid-month. Omid Scobie's book coming out, Endgame.
Ooh.
And plus we'll have the Crown, and it'll be interesting to see if King Charles like throws another fucking hissy fit about it. So I think November might start to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, he will. They can't help themselves. So we'll get into it in a minute, but the biographies, the memoirs, are the ones that are given all the gossip this week. There's royal gossip because they tell on themselves every time, you know.
Exactly. Well, you've been watching Fall of the House of Usher.
I'm 2 episodes into it. It's really good. I made the mistake. Well, it's not a mistake, but I've been watching it with my boyfriend, and I can't watch it without him. So I've and I got sick this week. Like, I have a sore throat and I don't know what's going on. I don't think I have COVID again, but I try to like stay away from people when I have a sore throat. So it's really good. It's scary. You were asking if it was scary in the links post. It's scary.
Yeah. So my thing is, I can't do ghost stories for the most part, and I can't do body horror. So is this a ghost story?
Okay, you won't be able to do either. There's both. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but so far there's both.
Okay.
There's ghosts and body horror, like grotesque body horror. It's awesome. I love it. Like, it's right up my alley. And it came out just at the right time. And Mike Flanagan, the filmmaker and showrunner, he's like everything Ryan Murphy wishes he was. Like, his shows are good. They kind of run a little bit long, but they don't go off the wall crazy like Ryan Murphy's shows do. They're good.
I've avoided all of his stuff because everything has told me and indicated that it's not my cup of tea. Like, it's pure horror, like the Bly Manor stuff. Like, I know I can't watch that.
I haven't watched all of Bly Manor, but I want Haunting of Hill House is fabulous. Midnight Mass was really good, especially as a former Catholic. It resonated with me and it was great. So I've seen all of his series except for Bly Manor. Like, I haven't watched the whole one. They're good. They're really good. And he uses the same actors too, so that's cool.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's not for you. Sorry.
I watched the whole Beckham docuseries.
Oh, okay.
That was amazing. I've never respected David Beckham and Victoria Beckham as much as I do now.
Okay.
His career was bonkers. I understand why he was such a big deal in the UK. I understand why he was such a big deal in soccer, in football. Yeah. And Victoria is just amazing. Like, she's just so funny, and she does not give a flying fuck about football at all.
Good for her. Yeah.
And the only time I was like, oh, Victoria, you did him dirty that time. She told him she was pregnant with Brooklyn right before the most important World Cup match of his life.
Oh, no. Did he win?
No. He got red carded. He got red carded at that match.
Oh. Damn.
It was bad. Within the docuseries, they're like pressing her, like, why the hell did you tell him about the pregnancy right before this really important match? And she was like, because it was about us. It was about, you know, what family we were going to have. I understood her perspective, but I still think she could have waited a day.
Yeah, they take it hard. That's her first baby, right?
Yeah.
They take it hard. I remember when I told my ex-husband he couldn't speak for a while. And we had been trying. He just was like speechless. He didn't know what to say at all. He was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, David just seemed out of sorts. Like, he's just fantastic. And like, he admitted his own bullshit. he didn't like say, oh, I had all these affairs. He's still sort of in shock that Victoria stayed with him because he gave her every reason to leave and she didn't. And he's still grateful to her that she didn't leave. And that like really moved me.
You should write about it if you want, if there comes a story that you want to write about or whatever.
I might. It was very good. And he's OCD, but just about like cleaning his house.
Nice. Yeah, didn't he say he likes to vacuum when everybody's sleeping or something, or clean up the kitchen? Or...
Yeah, it was cleaning the kitchen. They put that in the documentary too. Fisher Stevens directed the documentary, and he was like, "This kitchen is spotless." And David looks at him wearily and says, "I cleaned it all last night after everyone went to bed." He said, "I spent hours cleaning." He said, "No one appreciates it." And Victoria's like, "I'm going off. I'm getting a facial." It's great.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk about the royals. So we've been getting more details about the bankruptcy of the Middletons business, Party Pieces. And we talked about that in episode 153, which came out in June of this year. And that's when we heard about it and how they had stiffed creditors and suppliers. And now someone's putting up flyers around their hometown of Bucklebury. I don't know what they say. I really want to get a picture of this. Like, so far we've gotten all the secondary reporting. I would love to see it. But apparently, like, James was tearing them down, and they're really like hurt and offended that people put this up, calling them out.
Yeah, I think it's real interesting. I'm not sure what I think about who is doing it. It feels weird that the British media hasn't gotten a copy of the posters.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like papering the town.
Or that somebody didn't put it on Instagram or Twitter. And if it did, it would have been like viral. We would have seen it, right?
Right. And I kind of wonder if some journalist did it just to make a story.
Yeah, that makes sense. They do all sorts of things to make a story. And like after that, there were pieces defending Carol. The man who bought Party Pieces, James Sinclair, said it's like the investment firm's fault because I guess she sold half of it to an investment firm and they supposedly didn't pay people that she needed to pay. But everything was fine before she sold it to them. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the cover stories, they've never made any sense. And like we went through this in June where like Carol just immediately assumed a position of it wasn't my fault. I tried to make it better. None of this is on me. This was all, you know, someone else's fault. I think James Sinclair is just sort of parroting her talking points. Yeah. But he's also protecting his investment, you know, his £180,000 investment. Like, that's pennies on the dollar for, like, what Party Pieces was supposedly worth at one point. Her cover story makes no sense. When she walked away, yet she was still the face of the company, yet she was making all these calls to creditors on behalf of Party Pieces, yet she was, like, putting up her name as the future queen's mother. You know, like, and that's why people were extending her credit. She's in it up to her eyeballs.
It's sketch. And she launched it in America and everything. What was that about? And she was the face.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole thing is just ridiculous. And it's interesting that her sons-in-law have not paid the debt and that the British media is still talking about it.
Somebody's got the claws out for the Middletons now.
Yeah. And by extension, the knives are out for Kate. Like, yeah, Kate's definitely. Position has weakened so much this year. She's been shunted off to Adelaide Cottage, her little separation house. She's raising the kids basically alone. Her parents can't help her. They're broke. Her whole backstory just blew up with Party Pieces.
Yeah. And it really looks like William and Kate are separated, at least the stories in the press make it sound like they are, or like they're having significant problems. Another big story with this week was that they were arguing for years over whether George should go to Eton, which is the boarding school that William and Harry went to.
Your accent.
They decided. Did I say it like
you said Eton.
Fancy? I don't know. It's probably because I listened to Harry read in Spare.
He said, George going to Eton.
Eton.
It was cute. It was funny.
Yeah.
Your accent really
I
comes
don't
out
know.
on certain words.
I'm from upstate New York. I don't know. And like Kate is supposed to be super sad about that. I get that. Like I was sad when my kid went to college. You know, that's 8 years before that. You know, the kid is 10 years old. I would be sad to send him away too.
Yeah, George wouldn't be sent away until he's like 12 or 13. And they've known that this is happening for a while. Like they know that that's the expectation. And Kate should sort of consider herself lucky that she's gotten her way about the kids' education thus far. Because usually royal children are thrown into boarding school when they're like 7 or 8 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, that seems terrible.
But Kate wasn't raised that way.
And she said she went to boarding school and she was bullied. Other kids boarded and she didn't or something? Was that the case?
Yeah, she was a day student at Marlborough, I think.
Okay.
Basically, you know, her mom picked her up every day.
Yeah. So Kate and William went to the Rugby World Cup semifinal in France, but they went to separate matches. Like William went to one with George, and then Kate went to another one by herself the day after. I don't know. They have done some things together in the past couple weeks, William and Kate. Events together.
Yeah, they've done events together. They look like they can't stand to be around each other. William looks visibly irritated with Kate.
I mean, he's looked like that for a long time.
Yeah, the separate rugby games is because they have different patronages. William is Welsh rugby and Kate is English rugby.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah.
But still, there's nothing keeping them from going to each other's matches.
Right.
Kate could have easily gone to the Welsh match, and William could have easily gone to the England match.
Okay, I had no idea why they went to the separate ones. I thought they just hated each other. Both could be true. And then you covered this ridiculous story from Richard Eden with quotes from him in the Daily Mail, and it was like opposite world over there, which is what they do a lot. And the piece said, quote, Harry and Meghan's disgraceful treatment of William and Kate undermines their high-profile commitment to promoting mental health, and that the Duke of Sussex and his wife have done little to support the mental well-being of his brother William or his wife Catherine. The Waleses have had to put up with the most disgraceful personal criticism from Harry and Meghan on television and in Harry's book while being unable to answer back publicly. Well, you hurt us too. You hurt our mental health. How dare you support mental health and talk about therapy when you hurt our feels because you talked about the terrible things we did to you.
And like, I could create a list of just shit that Kate did to Meghan, like that we know now. Like, Kate picked a fight with Meghan right before the wedding. Then Kate turned up to the wedding wearing white.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, Kate made a big fucking deal about Easter presents and baby brains. And, like, Kate was an aggressive and passive-aggressive asshole.
She was. She kept saying that Meghan made her cry, even though the opposite was true.
I mean, that was the biggest lie. And that was the thing that hurt Meghan the most.
Yeah, for years they perpetrated that lie. And they did hit back at them over and over again with these sourced pieces.
Yeah.
It's not true that they weren't able to. That whole story makes me mad. It made a lot of people mad. But, I mean, it's just what they do. That's how they deal with everything. They're like Trump. They're like, you did this when they did it, you know?
It's all projection. It always is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the whole summer storyline about Harry and Meghan are having marriage problems. It was just projection of Will and Kate because they were so clearly spending the summer apart.
A long time before that, I'm sure, too. Whenever they got Adelaide Cottage, they've been apart since then, at least.
That was last year that they got it.
All right, let's talk about Britney Spears' memoir. So Britney has a new memoir coming out next week on October 24th. It's called The Woman in Me. And we're getting advanced details, and she really dished the dirt. It's surprising. So she talks about how she's been controlled and criticized since she was a teenager, and particularly under the conservatorship. And the big reveal this week was that Justin Timberlake got her pregnant when she was like 18 or 19 and convinced her to have an abortion.
Yeah. I understand why it's a big story, but I also don't think it's
that scandalous.
Yeah, it's not that scandalous. It's typical 18 to 19-year-old bullshit. A lot of kids that are dumb and in love and, dating a loser.
Or, they just have bad luck.
Yeah, bad luck, not being super organized with birth control. It just happens. And, like, I didn't think Justin Timberlake was a bad guy for making the argument that he wasn't ready to be a father.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I agree with that.
I think he's a bad guy for everything that came after
trash in general, but...
But, like, a 19-year-old guy saying, I'm not ready to be a father is, like,
self-aware, yeah. And Britney's memoir also said that Justin cheated with another celebrity, and she didn't name the celebrity, but, like, everyone's saying Christina Aguilera, because, Christina and Britney have hated each other for years.
Well, they used to hate each other. They've made peace.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of Christina. I don't know when she was saying it, but she was talking about how she wishes Britney well. And, like, she was saying it with a lot of sincerity.
Yeah, she seems all right now.
That she wants the best for Britney. She's made her peace with a lot of those old Mickey Mouse Club people.
Yeah, it was a toxic environment for those kids, I'm sure. And then Britney said that she made out with another guy, a choreographer named Wade Robson, when she was with Justin. And this is similar to the other story. Like, who among us did not, air quote, cheat? When we were 19, 20, 21. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And plus, it was the era.
Yeah.
Like 2000, 2001, 2002. That was like a fucking chaotic time. And imagine, like, being a celebrity and being, like, former Disney, people, like, that kind of toxic environment. Like, you're gonna do crazy shit. It's a wonder all of those people didn't have massive breakdown.
I'm surprised that some of them are doing okay now, and I'm glad,
Yeah.
A lot of those kids went through a lot. I'm happy that they're doing well now.
As for Justin maybe possibly cheating with Christina, like, I think he was cheating with everyone. Like, I think he's cheated on every girlfriend.
Yeah, he's cheated on his wife. He's cheated on Jessica Biel. There's pictures of him holding another woman's hand, and it was a huge scandal. People forget about that. It was just a few years ago.
And I'm sure he cheated on Cameron Diaz.
I forgot he was with Cameron Diaz. Oh my gosh.
He was with her for years.
I forgot. She is lucky she got out of that shit. She has a good husband now.
I'm sure he cheated on Britney with multiple women.
Yeah. But he had to do Cry Me a River and make it like...
Yeah. The thing I'm waiting for from the Britney memoir is Eddie's stories about Colin Farrell.
Oh, yeah.
And wasn't there someone else? Like, someone big?
Who she hooked up with?
Well, Colin Farrell's the big one.
Yeah.
I'd really want to know what happened there.
So, in response to this story, a source told Entertainment Tonight that, quote, Justin has been focusing on his own family and trying not to concern himself with Britney's memoir. In recent years, Justin has tried to be supportive of Britney from a distance. They dated so long ago, but he still has respect for her. Justin and Jessica just want everyone to grow and evolve instead of continuing to bring up the past. Yo, he's so silly. Like, that's what a memoir is. You have to dish the dirt.
And he brings up the past all the time, too. He just doesn't want his exes to bring up any past.
Right.
I mean, he's been a jerk for 25 fucking years.
He is. Did you open the mailing list today? Because I used a picture of his pregnancy announcement with Jessica Biel when his face was on her stomach. And their wedding on People where he's jumping up like a tool and like trying to steal the...
The People magazine wedding cover is still iconic for how absolutely awful. What a bad decision that was.
It's always about him.
It is.
I asked Eat, Pray, Britney podcast host Lisa to comment on Britney's book. We talked to her in podcast number 82. That was back in February of 2021. And Lisa said that she knew the book would have bombshells, but that, quote, it still feels very shocking to have people widely talking about all of this. Some fans were suspicious that she had maybe been pregnant with Justin's baby, but that was before, widespread social media and people talking on the internet. So yeah, I'm paraphrasing.
I think there are more big headlines to come. It'll be interesting to see what else. The New York Times got their hands on a copy, And they didn't break anything big, except they did say Justin broke up with Britney via text. What a douche.
And we didn't even use text back then. He probably had to press the button a bunch of times to get it out. Oh, maybe he had one of those. Did you have one of those with the keyboard? I had a flip one with a keyboard on it.
A BlackBerry?
It wasn't a BlackBerry. It was like a pre-Android phone, but had a keyboard. I felt like that was so cool. Yeah, but he probably had a BlackBerry. He wrote it on his BlackBerry. All right, let's move on to the comments of the week.
All right, I'll go first. My comment of the week is about that really cute interview with Travis Kelce. He talked to Wall Street Journal about his style and how much he spends on clothes, and he converted one of the bedrooms in his Kansas City house into a closet for all of his fashion. I was just complimenting him. I was like, it's really cool that he's so into fashion and that he's, looking at up and coming designers and that other men want to dress like him and have fun with fashion too. And Amira wrote, I want him to style Taylor too. Someone needs to.
Right? Maybe he'll help her and be a good influence.
I hope so.
I was looking on his Instagram and he has such cool looking outfits, and you could tell he loves to saunter into the plane or the bus or wherever they're going,
I think Taylor likes clothes, but she doesn't know how to put shit together.
Yeah, I agree. Like that cheesy little pleather skirt she wore with that 90s mesh floral top when she went out to dinner. I was like, no.
I just don't get it. She's a pretty girl. She has a really nice figure. She can wear all kinds of really cute things. And I don't get why she insists on...
She wore that skirt with a bedazzled fly. Remember? to the football
But even
game?
her red carpet stuff.
Yeah. Some of
what she wore to the VMAs was just forgettable and tragic.
Yeah, she doesn't have a good stylist and she doesn't have a good sense of personal style. She just throws shit together.
Several years ago, she went through almost a pantsuit phase where she was wearing trousers and more business wear, and it looked great on her. And I don't know if she was experimenting with a new stylist or something, but I really do wish that she would work with someone who knows what they're doing and would figure out what to do with her image and body.
Yeah. Her tour outfits look cool. I will say that. Her performance outfits aren't bad.
Yeah.
All right. My comment of the week is from B, and in parentheses, not that B. And this is on the post where Jada Pinkett Smith said that people blamed her for Will smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars. And the commenters really proved that point. And we talked about this last week about how you can't post about Beyonce or Oprah or any successful Black woman. People will just pile on. Well, I just don't like her. It's not about race. I hate everybody or whatever, So B said, wow, what a depressing thread. Y'all need to keep Jada's name out of your mouths. Not you, Amira, or a few others. Just the haters. Don't like her? Go look at someone else. But don't be blaming her for men's BS. Jada and Will are married but no longer romantically involved. That's the case for a lot of people. They raised 2 kids. They have successful careers. They are more successful than you or I will ever be and are better looking. I think that's what's really behind people trying to take them down. I'm paraphrasing now. And she said, people just have to drag successful Black folks. Stop it. It's a terrible look. So, yeah, that thread devolved and it's too bad. And that's the downside to having a popular site, is that more trash comments come in, and we do have comment moderators now, but it's hard to control. And it's a shame the way Jada can't be like, yeah, it's not my fault that my estranged husband who I was supporting took offense on my behalf. It's not, And
it was really crazy to see in real time with that thread. People were like, no one did that. And then everyone started blaming
Nobody
her.
did it. But she's lying about her marriage and da-da-da-da-da. Yo, she's telling you right now. And she's got a book out. And I feel bad for Jada because Britney's kind of eclipsing her publicity tour. So, like, you know, I hope people buy her book too and it's successful.
To be fair, like, people were already getting sick of Jada's promotion. Even I was kind of like rolling my eyes, like, not Jada reveals again. You know?
Because that was her whole brand with the Red Table Talk. You know?
Yeah. Like, I think that there are a few areas where you could say, you know, here's some fair criticism of Jada.
Yeah.
But, like, she didn't have any fucking thing to do with what her husband did to Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the only point she was making in that post that I wrote. Like, she was just saying, it wasn't on me. I didn't make him do it. I just rolled my eyes. That's all I did.
Yeah. I wish Jada well. I hear what people are saying about her, but I don't understand the pure vitriol toward her.
No. That's totally unnecessary. Like, you can say, like, Jada's not my flavor. And Jada is not my flavor. I still feel bad for her.
Yeah.
I still have sympathy for her and want her to live her best life.
Yeah, exactly. And I want her to be successful with her memoir, even if people feel like they already heard it all. You know, I'm not going to buy it and read it, but...
Yeah. Because I feel pretty confident that we got all the tea already.
Yeah, we probably did.
No, I'll read Britney's because I really want to see if she talked about Colin Farrell.
And there's details. There's probably a lot of details in there.
Yeah.
Good for her. And I'm glad she got a good ghostwriter. Good for the...
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, she got a good ghostwriter because they really captured the Britney voice, that kind of like simplistic nonchalance. It's good.
Blunt. Yeah. And I hope she's doing okay personally. I was kind of scared when she was dancing with the knives. I was like, damn.
But they were fake knives.
Are you sure they were fake? They clinked like real.
No, they were fake knives. She bought them at a costume store, you know, like a prop store.
All right.
And the prop store was like, she saved our business.
Oh, I missed all that. That's cool. Good for her.
Well, I'm nervous for Britney because she's dating a felon. She's dating another criminal.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. Well, the last I heard.
I haven't paid attention that much, but yeah. Well, I hope she's got her money safe regardless. And
yeah. Let her make mistakes.
Yeah. As long as they don't hurt her. And
shit happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches.
Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you like us, please turn off your ad blocker when you visit our site. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 434-218-3219. Our music is from AA Alto, Maiden, and via Premium Beat and Sound of Picture. Thanks again.